and will you not stay? Put up your caravan just for one day. So yeah, time travel doesn't work and time doesn't stop for anybody, but we can have our own special little formulae for time travel, and one of them is this, and it's my maternal grandmother's recipe for roast chicken, and luckily my mama still remembered it, so I called him up and got the recipe, and today I'm going to take you with me to my grandmother's roast chicken. Dimma, that's my maternal grandmother, Dimma. She was an amazing cook. She used to make magic out of nothing, and we guys used to just sort of, look forward to those holidays in Kolkata and spending time with her and eating her meals and stuff. So, but she had a very simplistic kind of attitude to food. So she would do, magic out of, she'd put together literally the simplest of ingredients and come out with these amazing dishes. And one of them was her signature, which was her chicken roast. And all she used for the chicken roast was, of course, chicken, salt, pyaz, adrak, lasan, onion, garlic, ginger, and that was it. And a little bit of oil. And this I'm talking about in the days when middle class homes didn't really have ovens, so it all had to be done in the kadhai, the wok, and it was amazing. So let me show you how she used to do it. So the chicken's marinated. We put just garlic and salt, and it's been an hour since it's been sort of stewing in that. The first thing to do is basically get a few holes going so that the marinade kind of goes in. I'm going to rub it with salt and garlic. Get it under the skin. So about 4 cloves of garlic, and now this is going to sit here for an hour at least. That's it. And we are now ready to cook. So what I'm going to do is put some oil in the kadhai, about 3-4 tablespoons, because the chicken has to brown, and that should be enough. If I need more oil later, I can always add it. We let the oil heat, and meanwhile what I've got is a few ginger slices, just that much. It's just for the fragrance. And I've got 3 onions which I have sliced, and that's it. And of course the chicken. The oil is hot, and I'm going to put this chicken in, and let's put it breast side first. And this is now going to fry on low fire, and I'm going to be browning it on every side. So let it cook. I'm not going to cover it while it's browning, because then it will release water, and then we'll have like a soggy roast. Don't want that. We want it to brown and be nice and dry. It's really strange how you still feel the influence of the Brits in Kolkata. I mean, especially if you go to the clubs, you've got like roast chicken and Yorkshire pudding and all those kinds of foods happening, and a lot of the middle class homes also sort of took to cooking those things. Like I remember in my childhood, our dinners were always like a stew and toast and a pudding. There was always a pudding to end it all. And I mean, people just figured out ways of recreating those English dishes, and it was good fun. My grandmother was a Bengali, purebred Bengali, and but she couldn't speak English. I don't know if she obviously could read it, but she wasn't really an English person in that sense. But if you played Scrabble with her, oh boy, she would beat you like nobody's business. She was an ace in Scrabble. How she did it, I don't know. But we were all terrified of playing Scrabble with Dimma. Dimma was I mean, she was one of the most feminine and crazy sense of humor, and I mean, she was always one of the girls, and she was always part of our gang, so to speak. We would conspire with her against our mothers and get up to all sorts of wickedness. And she used to make these lovely pickles, which, you know, we would sort of sit and eat in the afternoons. And that will brown the wing and the leg, and then once that is done, I'll turn it on its other side so that the other wing and the leg also gets browned. Since I'm doing it with less oil, I'm just holding the kadhai at an angle so that the oil gathers in that corner. I think what flavors this chicken is basically that garlic sort of getting fried early on along with all the chicken juices. That's probably the secret to this recipe. Whatever it is one of the yummiest roast chickens I've ever eaten. And there's no Worcester, no herbs, no nothing, just salt and onions and garlic and ginger, that's it. Okay, so the chicken is not fully cooked. If you will see, it's still bloody on the inside, but it's brown. So what I'm going to do is now take this out and put it aside, and I'm going to brown the onions in the kadhai. Right now just the onions go in. And once the onions get kind of brown, that's when I'll put the chicken back in and let it again cook on slow fire. I'm going to put a little salt on this so that whatever gravy forms also has salt. So as you can see, the onions are on the brink of browning, and I'm going to put the chicken back in on this bed of onions. Don't want to do a Mr. Bean there. Again, let it cook breast side first. Though my grandmother, of course, used to do this with chicken pieces, so she would like cut them into large pieces, like a leg and thigh joint, or just the breast with the wing and stuff like that. I'm doing it with a full chicken because, well, a roast chicken has to look like a roast chicken, right? Now I'm going to add just a little bit of water, maybe a quarter cup, and put the ginger in. This is something my mama kept telling me, do not fry the ginger, put it in the water. That way you get the real fragrance of the ginger. I didn't know that. And cover it and forget about it for about 10 minutes. See how nicely it's bubbling away. So I think it's time to turn it around once. And now again, we're going to let it cook for another 10 minutes. Basically, I need this water to dry up. And once that happens, hopefully the chicken will also have been cooked to the bone, as Mr. Mehra is fond of saying. Can you smell it? Awesome, awesome, awesome. You can do potatoes with this if you like, but since we are trying to be healthy, I'm going to be serving this with broccoli and carrots. What fun! As you can see, the onions have got all melty, and I'm just waiting a bit for the water to dry up so that we have a nice thick sauce. And the chicken is cooked. Just letting the other side brown. My uncle told me that apparently in the old days, before we came on the scene, my grandmother used to make this with butter. So if you're feeling decadent, you can do it in butter. Or if you want to be cautious, you can just add a spoonful of butter when this is done. I'm gonna give it that poke test. As you can see, it's done. So this chicken that I'm cooking, this is from one of those organic poultries, and the skin is very tender. It's thin, so it keeps sort of peeling off when you're trying to, fry it or roast it like this. But I guess with regular broiler chicken that shouldn't happen. Okay, so my gravy's also done. The water's dried up. So I'm going to let this rest for a minute while I get the plate ready for serving. That was the roast chicken. All it takes in terms of trouble is time, and otherwise ingredients are just onions, ginger, garlic and salt, and that is it. Not even any booster sauce. Quite surprising, no? So let's carve this bad boy and see what is there for us. Ooh, tender. When we were children, we would only be served one piece of chicken, and oh my god, we used to make sure that we sort of, ate up every bit of that chicken that was there, like Oliver Twist. Licked our fingers clean. And of course, the broccoli. This summit roasted in the oven. And the carrot. And nice homemade bread. The bread is also whole wheat, so very healthy. So I'm gonna taste the gravy first. Now let me cut the chicken. Luckily for me, Amit isn't very fond of chicken skin, so I get all the skin and he can eat the chicken. That garlic under the skin has really flavored the chicken well, and the salt has also sort of soaked in. Thank you, Mama, for remembering and for sharing. And as you know, there are going to be a lot more calls coming your way for more of Dimma's recipes. Bon appetit. See you guys next week.